so different from his Methodist preacher father, she wondered. Even Jake's appearance was undesirable. He never cared about what he wore. Today, as usual, he was attired in a ragged deerskin jacket worn over a shirt he refused to let her wash. His breeches were soiled and torn from living more in the forest, amidst the briars, than at home where he belonged. "Yvonne, your place is in the kitchen, not out here bossing me around," Jake said. "Jake," Yvonne said when she saw a softer look in his eyes. She was beginning to feel guilty having slapped him. Although her stepfather had told her many times what had changed Jake, she still tried hard to understand what drove him, what made him so different from his father. "Don't Jake me! And by God, Yvonne, hear me well when I tell you not to slap me again." He flailed his free hand in the air, showing his frustration. "Just stay out of my way! Stop interfering in my life!" At that moment, Anthony Stockton hurried out of the cabin in his preacher-black suit and tie, his gold-rimmed eyeglasses perched on his hawk nose. He looked uneasily from Yvonne to Jake, then grabbed Jake's rifle. "I don't need to ask what happened here," he said, his voice and his dark eyes showing his disappointment in his son. "I heard the gunfire. I heard the heated words." Anthony watched the crow as it swept down from the upper limbs of the tree, flew past, and then disappeared into the thickness of the forest. Anthony looked slowly at Jake again. "You just can't leave it be, can you? Why are you determined to take that crow's life? Why?" "What good does that bird do anybody?" Jake said, eyeing his rifle. He started to reach for it, then hesitated when his father glared at him. "Father, I need target practice. The bird makes a perfect target." "Tin cans would suffice." He nodded toward the cabin. "Son, go to your room. Stay there, and think about what you are doing with your life. Think about the way you are treating your sister. She has more than earned your respect, son. Why, Jake, she does everything for you a mother should do. You should be ashamed at how you treat her. Do you hear? Ashamed." Yvonne stood by, listening to Anthony scolding Jake, and feeling uncomfortable being there. Although everything Anthony said to Jake was true, she did not want to fuel the fire of Jake's resentment toward her. She was well aware that Anthony treated her as if she were a princess. Since her mother's death, Anthony had acted as though he had a debt to pay Yvonne, as though he blamed himself for the death. In truth, no one was to blame. Not even the child who was born to Yvonne's mother on the very day she died. Yes, Yvonne had another brother, a half-brother whom she adored. Stanley was another reason for Jake to resent life. More than once, Anthony had tried to explain Jake's behavior to Yvonne. He had told her that Jake's personality had changed when his mother died. As Anthony had explained to Yvonne, a bear had mauled Jake's mother to death right before the boy's eyes when he was only 6. Jake had held himself responsible, even though he had not even been old enough to carry or know how to use a firearm. All that Jake knew was that he had not been able to save his mother's life. He lived with that knowledge day and night. He carried the weight of his mother's death on his shoulders and found life cruel for having taken his mother from him. Yvonne was drawn from her thoughts when Jake leaned down into her face, glowered, then stormed away. "I'm sorry, Yvonne," Anthony said. He took her gently by an elbow and steered her back toward the cabin. "I can't seem to talk or pray the devil out of my son. I had so badly wanted to start our lives fresh here in our new home in Michigan." "Please don't let Jake spoil things for you," Yvonne said. "You are working miracles here. The children in the school you started are so blessed to have you." And she felt equally blessed. Every day she saw why her mother had married this gentle, sweet man after having lived the life of a widow for too long. Yvonne missed her mother, but she had never resented young Stanley, her half-brother. In fact, she had become her younger brother's mother in virtually every sense of the word. As they stepped up on